22 years ago, I made the choice to move out of the city up into the forest, and it was an amazing decision for me. Let me show you my property. This is a little bit of drone footage, and as you can see, I live surrounded by trees. And the topic today is about living in the forest and the danger of living in the forest pertaining to fire. There's so many fires going on right now in California. California is in a state of desperation. So 22 years ago, I bought this home on this property, and my beautiful woods and all the trees that I live with are both a blessing and a source of fear. A fire that takes off in this forest could be devastating. And I live through all the seasons. You know, we have the snow that comes through occasionally. It's not heavy snow, but it's amazing to live up there. But we also experience the flooding and the excessive rains and the serious problems associated with the dramatic times of the year. This was from last year's seasonal rain, which was excessive. It brought down trees. It brought down roads. It brought down all kinds of problems for us. And the reason I'm bringing this all up is because of the unseasonable excess that we had of rain. We've got an excess of dryness. Now this is the view that I have of my house. This is my daughter Callie and I'm playing around here, but you can see how clear it is. We can see all the way out to the valley, and it's a little overcast on this particular day, but you can see all the way down there. And this is my morning sunrise. I absolutely love living up in the mountains. So here we are with a little bit of a different image with the fires. The smoke has set in so heavy. Many fires going on. This is my view. I can normally see the entire Santa Clara Valley out there, all the buildings, and right now it's just, and there's not a cloud in the sky. The smoke has settled into the Santa Clara Valley, and they closed the, well, they didn't close the schools, but they closed all the athletic activities and all the outdoor sports today. And up north, closer to the fire area, I've heard that some of the schools are letting some of the 4-H kids have school credit to go out and rescue livestock from the burn areas that are accessible now. This is the worst I have ever seen for smoke blowing in. And there's a little bit of a breeze right now, and I can smell it as strong as can be. But I tell you, this feels apocalyptic. This is terrible. I think people with asthma and respiratory problems are just going to be in so much trouble. God help us. And if you go up to the top of my driveway and look across the way, we have a view over towards Santa Cruz. Look at how smoky it is up here right now. But typically you can see all the way over to the coast. I couldn't see anything today coming home. It was just all sucked in with smoke. So I took my drone out just to go up into the sky to see the smoke in the valley. This fire is over 90 miles away. The Napa fire, the one that's in Santa Rosa, in that area, it's currently consumed 175,000 acres. It is unbelievable. It is such a huge fire that you know, it's settling in with smoke everywhere. So this is what I looked at all day yesterday, and I was choking it all down. And we are blessed to have a view out to the ocean as well, and you can't see any ocean. So I went over there last night, and that's what I saw. It looked almost nuclear. Now Sunday night the winds picked up really fierce. On our mountaintop where I live, they were 40 to 50 miles an hour, and where the fires were, they were as high as 68 miles an hour. And that created a burning inferno that just whipped up the fire. I believe it knocked down a power line, and the wind whipped it up and it blew it down through a Venturi type of a canyon and took out so many, thousands and thousands of structures. It's horrific. But I realize that it could happen to any of us. Whether you live down in the city or whether you live up in the forest, the risk of these fires is very real. So I guess, what do you do about it? Well, you know, the fire department always says that you got to keep, you know, a certain amount of clearance back, and you've got to keep the leaves off your roof, and you should, you know, definitely work. This is all true. Under normal circumstances, if a fire breaks out, you know, they want what they call defensible space. And that's smart. And I do the best I can. However, I do accept the risk. And I think a lot of people that live up in the mountains and in the forest have learned to accept the risk. It could be anything. It could be a fire. It could be an earthquake. It could be a hurricane. It could be any sort of a natural disaster. And we're having so many of those natural disasters right now that I really don't know what to think about it, but it feels very frightening. So, my closing statement in this video is going to be, you know, open your hearts, open your wallets. There are so many people. There are so many needy people. There are so many people without homes and people that have just been decimated. So I'm doing what I can do. I'm giving what I can give, but we all have to open our hearts and we have to open our wallets. And we have to give to Puerto Rico. We have to give to the people in Florida, the people in Texas, and now the people in California. So unfortunately, when disaster strikes, the rest of us have to do what we can to open our hearts, open our homes, and open our wallets. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you can sleep comfortably tonight knowing that you have a roof over your head and a home to go home to.